Yo, what's going on, fools? So I have compiled all the latest and greatest box fight tips into one video, and you might be asking yourself,
how do I get this?
Easy. All you have to do is pay 3 easy payments of $29.99. Fight! I'm just playing, but for real, I've compiled a lot of good box fight tips I've learned from throughout who knows how long. So before we start, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down something below, because that is the only way I can grow. I just made that up, top of the dome. Starting off with the first tip, which is to hold a ramp whenever you're outside someone's box. So normally when someone's trying to pickaxe someone's box, they're gonna hold the wall trying to replace it, but the likelihood of you doing that is very low unless you got like 0 ping or something like that. So instead, whenever you're pickaxing or you're outside their box, just hold the ramp, and then from there, all you have to do is wait for them to edit on you. I just threw up a little bit. Then once you got that ramp in their box, all you gotta do is a quick edit and then kill them any way you want. With this tip, I find it best to be on top, because whenever you're on top of their floor and they try to do an edit thinking you're vulnerable, you can surprise them with the ramp and take them off guard. Now most players are gonna have trouble getting the opponent's cone or wall, but this leads me to my next tip. So this tip I found from It's Jarian on YouTube, and it's simple but probably the most effective. What you want to do is place a cone diagonal to their box and then edit it like this. From here you have 4 different angles you could choose from, which basically leaves your opponent in a guessing game. Since you can't take someone's wall with high ping, the best thing you can do is outsmart them, and this is the best way to do it. And if you didn't already know, you could actually hit the middle of the cone, and that's going to give you the floor underneath it. Next up, we got a phasing trick. Now Fortnite patched most of the phasing techniques, but this one still works. So what you got to do is go on top of your opponent's box, build 2 walls, and then go in the middle of their cone while you pickaxe. This is going to cause you to phase through their cone and pickaxe through their floor, because they're still going to be turbo building the cone. The only thing you got to look out for this one is if your opponent has any traps. Sorry if I turned some of you guys on right there. Next tip. So whenever you're outside someone's box, instead of doing a window edit, try to do a horizontal edit across the top. Once you do that, just make sure you're standing against the wall so they can't hit you. And whenever you jump up, instead of trying to get the shot on them, reset your building so that when they shoot, it breaks the wall and you can get the shot on them. It's quite simple, really. Another edit you could do, which is probably my most favorite, is editing the top 3 squares on the right. This is going to give you that right hand peek, which is going to give you a lot more advantage over your opponent. And I like to go all the way to the left and then jump, so that my head is barely exposed. As you can see from inside the box, your head only peeks for like a nanosecond, so it's very hard to hit. Next tip. Now this tip is a fake out. Whenever someone's trying to get in your box, go all the way against your back wall and place a ramp. This is going to cause you to phase through the ramp, and then whenever your enemy is trying to take the wall, you can just edit a window and catch them off guard. And as you can see from the other perspective, it's really hard to tell what you're doing. The opponent probably thinks you're going up, and while they're processing all that, you can just edit the window and shoot them. Next tip. Now another one of the great uses the flintlock can do, flint knock, my bad. Now another one of the great things the flint knock can do that has been going around recently is get inside someone's box. And if you don't know how to do that, all you have to do is place a ramp behind you, get your wall to 1 hit, then hit their wall and jump at the same time, which is going to propel you into the box. Again, watch out for traps, but if you do it quick enough, it shouldn't matter. Also, since more and more people are learning this, what you want to do is damage their wall at a distance. So whenever you're running to their box, get it to 1 shot, and then from there, place a ramp, and then you can edit and do it quick that way. It's all about the element of surprise. Now when it comes to inbox fighting, I see a lot of people, whenever they're under pressure, choke. So what I want you to do is stay calm, relax, breathe each other's air, become one with nature, become one with Fortnite. So yeah, when you're under pressure, stay calm and just keep turbo building the ramp, because there's no way they can get through it. Then from there, there's a bunch of edits you could do. It's really just up to your personal preference, but I'll show you one that's not as common, which is the U. So make an upside down U edit, confirm the edit, and then go over to the corner to reset it. This is going to drop you behind the enemy, taking them by surprise, because they're not going to be able to keep track of you. Now another phasing trick, if you don't have the flint knock, is to use your pickaxe. What you want to do is you want to place a ramp right at your head so you're phasing through it, and jump and pickaxe, which is going to propel you forward into their box. Now you could either do it farther away like that, or you could just place a cone behind you and do it straight against their box, which I personally prefer. And then same thing goes for the flint knock trick. What you want to do is get their wall down to one shot from a distance. That way when you get to their box, it's going to catch them by surprise. Now this next tip is super useful for all you console/controller guys out there that have problems editing. So if you're not good at editing, the best thing to do whenever you see someone in a box is place a wall to the side and pre-edit that wall without confirming it. Then when you pickaxe their box, replacing their wall, it's already going to have that pre-edit right there and you can get the easy shot. Also, it's much faster than replacing the wall and then editing and shooting. All you have to do is make sure you reset your wall afterwards. Moving on from there, this next move I got from Kuna. Make sure you check him out because he is a box god. But what you do is basically when someone takes your floor from above, instead of trying to shoot them, look down and place a ramp where you can then edit out your box or edit yourself into another box. This is really the only move you could do when someone takes your cone in the floor, so just make sure it's locked up tight in a noggin, alright? Now this next tip is OP, and I'm not sure if they'll ever patch it, but as it stands right now, if you place a ramp behind you and then go to the corner of their box while holding the ramp and spamming crouch, it's going to place a ramp inside their box. I don't know why that's a thing, but just use it till you lose it. You feel? Next up, we got the best peek you could do from inside your box. So whenever you're inside your box, make sure you're standing on a cone and do this edit to the wall. This is going to give you that right peek, and it's going to expose your opponent's thighs/feet while they still can't see you. As you can see from the outside, the opponent's chipping damage at me, but I literally cannot see him. And a lot of the time, whenever you have double keys trying to get in your box, they'll land on an edit while they're pickaxing your wall. So all you gotta do is the same edit and just chip damage off at their feet while they can't even see you. I don't know about you guys, but I'm giving some pretty juicy tips right now. Next up, we got a trap tip. Now, whenever you're in someone's box, most of the time people will place the trap on the right or the left wall. But the problem is when you do this, the opponent will just run over to the opposite wall. So instead, place the trap on the ceiling and then edit your ramp, but quickly reset it, giving your opponent no opportunity to shoot you. The trap still goes off and you're left unscathed. And talking about traps, I have saved the best tip for last. Now this tip I originally saw from Kuna, and Martos has his own little version, which I'll go over, but I'm gonna add my own little tip to it, so it's gonna make it kinda OP. So this trick allows you to place a trap in your opponent's cone even when they're turbo building. Now the trick to do it is whenever you're replacing their wall is to place a trap right afterwards. Now some of the common mistakes you'll make is whenever you're holding down the trap, you have to double tap it because you're already pressing down from the pickaxe. So if you run into your trap not placing, that's most likely the reason, or you have really high ping. Now Martos' version, which is probably better for all the controller guys out there, is get the wall down to one shot. Then from there, you can take your shotgun to break the wall instead of your pickaxe. If I were you, I would try both methods and see which one's best for you. Now my version is actually using the scroll wheel to do it. So what you want to do is go over to your settings, go over to the input tab, and go down to place building. From there, you want to click the second option and put it either as scroll wheel up or scroll wheel down. I have it as scroll wheel down because my scroll wheel up is my instant reset. Then once you applied those settings, you want to go back to doing the trick, but this time just scroll wheel down instead of double tapping. You'll find this places it a lot faster and is much more consistent. If you guys found this video helpful at all, don't forget to throw a like and comment down something below. I'll try to respond to all of them, and it's really the best way to help support the channel. Peace.